Angel Reese strikes Lee Edwards in the face while attempting to get the rebound. Angel Reese will miss the Indiana Fever game due to a suspension. The Chicago Sky are formally placed on notice by Angel Reese. "Don't bring me these anymore, participants." In the Chicago Tribune, Angel Reese essentially threatens to quit the Chicago Sky. However, doing this in public is only destroying a locker room. In fact, I commend Angel Ari for exerting pressure on her front desk. You have to think about the probability that Chicago Sky is her last game at this point. After being punished for slapping an opponent 2 minutes ago, Angel Reese shocked the WNBA and is now implying Aang get out of the Chicago Sky. Could Reese's time in Chicago be coming to an end? Angel Reese will miss the Indiana Fever game due to a suspension. Indeed, Angel Reese was able to seek and obtain a suspension for the Indiana Fever game. Aaliyah Edwards was smacked in the face by Angel Reese as he attempted to get a rebound. The officials were forced to call a technical foul, even though some claimed Edwards overstated the contact. Intent is irrelevant in the waned. A technical is automatically awarded for any strike to the face. She makes a leaping attempt. Aaliyah Edwards gets smacked in the face by Angel Reese as she tries to grab the rebound. Aaliyah Edwards is completely sold, but Angel Reese slaps her across the face. This is a technical failure given the referee's methods and the manner the WNBA game is being officiated, whether or not there is intent. A slap to the face constitutes a technical foul. Therefore, I don't believe we can say anything about that. However, the consequences extend much beyond a single miss the match. The squad is under additional strain as a result of Reese's suspension, which has put her and the Chicago Sky in the public eye. Her fierce competitiveness was praised by some fans, while others cautioned that it would ruin the atmosphere in the locker room. The Sky is in dire need. Overdoing this in public is only destroying a locker room. Though I don't like the way she did it, I do commend Angel Ari for applying pressure to her front office. Additionally, if you'd like to, in a recent interview, Ree added gasoline to the fire by stating unequivocally that she won't accept the current situation. Oh, but like they could have done something last season. What could they have done last season? Circumstances in Chicago. She urged her teammates to be stronger and made a suggestion that she would have to seek elsewhere if significant adjustments weren't made. The rumors about her future have only grown more intense since her suspension, according to the Chicago Tribune. Angel Reese is essentially threatening to depart from the city. And I worry if the Fever front office is prepared to assemble the group that Caitlin Clark deserves for her professional future. Reese publicly questioned her own organization, stating that she prefers top talent to mediocre teammates. In fact, she threatened to leave Chicago if her requests weren't fulfilled. Now that her suspension is involved, the stress the angle between Ree and the Sky appears more acute than before. The Chicago Sky is formally put on notice by Angel Ree. This offseason, we're not doing the same thing as we did the previous one. Don't bring me bums anymore. Play with it. Don't bring me Kia Nurses anymore. Don't bring me Rebecca Allens anymore. Don't bring me Ariel Atkins anymore. Keep Courtney Vanderloot away from me. A victor by the manner. By the way, two-time champion. Don't bring these players to me again. It was not warmly received when Angel Reese made scathing remarks about her teammates and the Chicago Sky. By publicly criticizing her coach regarding athletes, she has increased pressure on the front office to sign big free agents. However, inquiries concerning her behavior outside of the court are now stoking the flames and bringing the matter closer to a breaking point. Well, it appears that Tit was not warmly received when Angel Reese made remarks against the Chicago Sky organization and her teammates. According to front office sports insider Annie Costaball, given what Reese said when she called out some of her teammates, the harm between the Sky and Ree might be irreversible. She sought to pressure the team to make significant free agency signings in order to retain her, calling out her coach and colleagues. And they are now questioning her behavior outside of court. According to reports, Angel Ree is developing Mercedes with the course of events in Chicago. She stressed that she wants to play with the best and is putting pressure on the front office to bring in top talent, saying we can't settle for what we have this year. Her remarks demonstrate her will and impatience to alter the course of the Sky. I can't hold anything against her as a Chicago Sky supporter, but it sounds like Angel Reese might be leaving the team, folks. Angel Reese was recently featured in the Chicago Tribune, and it seems that she is not happy. Like us fans, we're not happy with the way the Chicago Sky's current season and, well, the season before in 2024 went. It was a sweltering mess. Angel Reese didn't hold anything back either. All right, she recently wrote this article. I apologize. She simply gave an interview, not an article. Angel Reese is implying that he may leave Chicago because he has had enough of losing. She has expressed her frustration at Sky's difficulties and stated that she might need to rethink her course if nothing improves. Her developing her discontent is an obvious indication of how shaky her relationship with the squad has been. Angel Reese is already requesting to leave Chicago. She's finished with the mild sauce and Harold chicken. Angel Reese has had enough. It's getting to Angel Reese. She has had enough of losing. She has had enough of being the league's prickly underdog. The Chicago Sky has irritated her, and Angel Reese seemed to want to leave. It appears that she wants to leave. When discussing the Sky lack of individuality, Angel Reese didn't mince words. She stated that she would no longer accept a settlement unsought-after elite talent. This offseason is crucial, she said. Her tolerance is obviously wearing thin, and the organization is now under a lot of pressure. Thus, it appears like Angel Reese is finally speaking up about free agency, the team's lack of identity, and whether she plans to stay here for the long run or leave. There is a lot of activity in this article. I'm only getting the information. Now you are sending it to my direct message and tagging me in it. I'm just beginning to understand. We will not simply go over it word by word. I've read a little of it, and we can just discuss the topics, not the topics and move on. Once more, I'm sort of learning this in real time alongside you. Angel Reese was explicit about her position when she criticized the Chicago Sky for surrounded by mediocrely talented people. She stated that she just wanted elite players and didn't want Kia Nurse, Rebecca Allen, or Ariel Atkins. Reese stated that she will not accept anything less than the greatest since she wants to play with the best of the best. The Chicago Sky is formally put on notice by Angel Reese. This offseason, we're not doing the same thing as we did the previous one. Don't bring me bums to play with anymore. Don't bring me Kia Nurses anymore. Don't bring me Rebecca Allens anymore. Don't bring me Ariel Atkins anymore. By the way, don't bring me champion Courtney Vanderloot, two-time winners. Within her, I'd like to be here for my career, but if things don't pan out, obviously I might have to move in a different direction and do what's best for me. Reese stated in her own words, indicating that she is already thinking about leaving Chicago if her hopes aren't fulfilled. Oh boy, Reese told the Tribune. We have to get good players. We have to get great players. That's a big deal. I'm not settling for the same we did this year. Non-negotiable for me. I want to play alongside the best, and I'll do anything I can to help get the best here. Therefore, it will be crucial this offseason to ensure reaffirmed her refusal to accept the same failures as last year. In an interview with the Chicago Tribune, saying, "We can't settle for what we have this year, so we attract the best of the best." Reese explicitly threatened to leave if the front office doesn't step up in the offseason, emphasizing that bringing in outstanding players is a necessity. Angel Reese actually stated this in an interview in the Chicago Julia Poe. Excuse my French, basically informed the Tribune that she was no longer going to settle for the same thing. "I'm not settling for the same we did this year," she said. "We must acquire talented players. We must acquire excellent players. I'm willing and wanting to play with the best. And I'm going to do whatever I can to get the best here. So that's not negotiable for me." Reese's annoyance wasn't limited to her teammates. She also expressed doubts about veteran Courtney Vanderloot's ability to recover from her ACL injury and stated quite simply that the squad needs a younger player with championship experience. I'd like to stay here for my career, but things don't work out as planned. Of course, I might have to go in a different way, but I do what's best for me while I'm here. She's demonstrating that she has little tolerance for rebuilding or devotion to aging players. After addressing every one of us by name, Ree broke down the Sky roster, saying, "I'm going to try to stay open-minded while I have them about what I have here and maximize that as much as I can." She has been quoted several times, said, "We require outstanding players." Additionally, according to a front office sports source, she wants Marsh to put in more effort as the team's coach, which is reasonable. She also questioned whether veteran guard Courtney Vanders was. We need someone probably a little bit younger with some experience. Someone who's been playing the game and is willing to compete with championship and skill. She continued, adding that she is capable of getting back to her previous level of play at her current age. After tearing her ACL 7 games into the season, has previously done it. In this league, there is only one player at the moment. Angel re-acknowledged that she wanted to remain in Chicago, but she issued a strong warning transcript, 559 to 636, with the Sky near the bottom of the standings. Her future with the team is in jeopardy, as seen by her veiled threat in her comments. If the Sky don't make the necessary changes, she's out the door. The statement "leaving is becoming very real" was made with a hint of a threat, though, in which she essentially hinted that if they don't make the necessary adjustments, she's out the door. Now, you can interpret it however you choose. The whole thing is going to get more complicated, and Angel will undoubtedly now be questioned about it at this point. You have to think about the likelihood that she's playing her final games with the Chicago Sky in the remaining games of this season, and her teammates will likely be questioned about it. Frankly stated, "I may need to change my course if things don't work out, but I'd like to stay here for my career." She clarified that although she is making an effort to maintain her tolerance, this ultimatum is wearing thin. She describes herself as stating, "I am very vocal about what we need and what I want," making it plain that her commitment to Chicago Sky hinges solely on significant improvements. "I would like to stay here for my career," Ray stated, "but if things don't work out, clearly, I may need to take a different course and act in my own best interests. For a period, prioritize yourself. Enough of all this loyalty. I love it when women put themselves first. I'm going to try to be open-minded about what I have here and make the most of it while I'm here. But it's time for me to depart since they're not acting like they have any sense. We can see that you're suffering, and it's not just that she's trying to be diplomatic and respectful. She's trying to be, simply not to stir up any trouble, injuries. It's the whole Chicago team. Take a look at Camila Cardoso. Reese stated that she would want to play in Chicago for the rest of her career, but she also reiterated that she cannot accept the same failures. We need to acquire talented players. I'd prefer to stay here for my career, but if things don't work out, I might have to do what's best for herself and look for possibilities elsewhere. We need to recruit outstanding players. Get the best here. That's what I'm going to do this off-season. I like to remain here for my career, but if things don't work out, might have to take a different route and do what's best for me. Must change course and do what's best for me." In a separate statement, Reese said she wants to express her requirements and that she's prepared to leave if the Sky don't respond, pointing out how other teams, Chicago, still lacks identity, whereas Golden State has constructed strong squads. Her message is clear. Her time with the Sky may be gone if nothing changes. Here she is saying, "I'm extra Melute Spawn about my desires and what we need. I'd like to stay here for my profession, but if things don't work out, I may need to choose a different route and take care of myself. But I'm going to make an effort to stay here. I try to be as open-minded as possible about what I have here." According to several accounts, Angel Reese's words provoked discord among the team, and her remarks were witnessed by everyone in the locker room. A team meeting was set up so that teammates could speak with her directly about the problem because the players were not satisfied. We know that Amar stated, "We're addressing in-house, currently speaking. That's where are we going to stay?" The whole squad has seen Reese's remark that teammates dislike direct attacks, according to multiple sources who spoke to front office. Sports. A team meeting is scheduled and players are anticipated to confront Reese directly. Sky clearly has franchise problems, since they were comparing the Athletics' nameless players to the worst in the franchise league. Reese stated that she wants the Chicago analysts noted that the team now confronts a tough decision: either commit to building around Reese or risk losing her to another team. Sky will be restructured around just two players, herself and Camila Cardoso. Into a player like Lisa Thomas, you need people to spread the floor. Therefore, you should go out and spend whatever it takes to acquire Atlanta Smith or AZER.CAMILA Cardoso. Tell Angel Reese to go pack her bags, because she just destroyed her trade worth by doing this. If you want to build her around her, or if you don't want to, tell her to do so. Reduced her trade worth because she has demonstrated to teams that she will be a locker room cancer if things don't work out. League executives called Reese's public criticism of colleagues unprecedented. Although players sometimes advocate for roster changes behind closed doors, several WNBA executives who spoke to the front described Reese's remarks against her teammates as unprecedented. And she expressed her demands in the media, which sparked worries that her trade worth would decline if teams saw her as a possible locker room problem. It is uncommon for a player to openly discuss role instructions and the necessary changes, even if they are often discussed internally. Coaches and league executives have praised Reese's motor-revving defense. Several league sources of sports runoff believe that certain teams would compare her on-court performance to her off-court behavior. Reese's move to humiliate colleagues in a national journal was criticized for being ill-timed. Many said she should have dealt with these emotions in private rather than in public, and her remarks ran the potential of causing awkwardness and stress in the locker room with games remaining in the season. I'm not sure how I feel about going into a national publication and completely humiliating your teammates. Having said that, I believe that perhaps a behind-the-scenes discussion would have been a little more appropriate in this case. Given that there are still games to be played, it will be unpleasant in the locker room, especially for teammates like Becca Allen and Ariel Atkins, but there aren't many because they are completely out of the playoffs. Some even made predictions about the Sky rumors that Reese's time in Chicago was coming to an end. Because of the uncertainty around whether Chicago should keep building around her or concentrate on other young players like Camila Cardoso, so may not last long. Now, I have a question for the Chicago Sky. How much do you think Angel Reese is worth? Do you think she is worth enough to develop around? Do you overpay for players? Trade Camila Cardoso, trade Ariel Atkins, and trade whatever draft picks you have to acquire players Angel Reese approves of. Transcript 5/72300-428 o'clock. Angel Reese caused a commotion inside the team by publicly criticizing her coach and colleagues. The Chicago Sky locker room. Instead of fostering trust, her candid comments have only increased skepticism about whether she really wants to stay with the team. And executives now think this could be the end of her time in Chicago. However, you must understand that when you openly criticize your teammate, coach, and organization, they will not be pleased and will say, "All right, Angel, let's move on. Let's create those changes." And that's what I mean by bringing it on herself, she added. This is a disaster that she made. Maybe intentionally, who knows? On paper, Chicago might have talent but lacks identity and effort, Reese said, drawing a comparison between the Sky and the Golden State Valkyries. If things don't improve, I could see myself thriving somewhere else. It said, sure, the Sky is still young, and sure, they suffered several major blows due to injury throughout the year, but The comparison revealed that she already has her sights set on other teams that truly fight for championships. Oh my gosh, although that isn't the cause. Reese used the first Golden State Valkyries, who are currently placed 6th in the league despite assembling their lineup mostly through the expansion draft. It's a benchmark for the Sky's poor play this season. She would thrive. She would be showered with affection. Fans adore the Golden State Valkyries. So if you don't know what I mean, you can imagine the chaos in that stadium. Angela Reese would be a fan of the Golden State Valkyries if I were traded to them for a period. Because I adore Andrew Reese, I enjoy anywhere Angel Reese travels. Ree recently gave respect to Phoenix Mercury. Supporters claim that she experiences love in both Phoenix and New York. These remarks raise the possibility that she is considering such locations as potential landing sites. This was, for many, the clearest indication yet that Reese is getting ready for life outside of Chicago. A week ago, Angel Reese said this about the Phoenix Mercury. In reference to the Phoenix Mercury supporters, Angel Reese stated, "These are just straight basketball fans. I feel the love here in Phoenix." She is already making it clear that I want to play in Faye. They usually ask me where I enjoy performing, and Phoenix and New York are 2 examples. After missing the Indiana Fever game once more, this time due to suspension, Angel Reese says she may have to leave Chicago if things don't get better. She plans to try to get to the Phoenix Mercury. Additionally, expressing obvious dissatisfaction with the system, they demanded that head coach Tyler Marsh push players harder. For example, Angel Reese did her introductory press conference. Everyone knew the WNBA was in the pro, like not WNBA guess that Angel Reese was one. M was one technical foul off suspension since before her back injury. Angel Reese loudly criticizes her teammates, publicly criticizes her organization, and submits a list of requests during a high school gymnasium conference. "We can't settle for what we have this year," Ski said without fear. Reese wants the entire roster reconstructed around herself and Camila Cardoso. And reports confirm that teammates were upset with her public attacks, causing tension in the locker room. Reese even threatened to leave the team if they didn't get their act together. Players are likely to speak directly to Reese during a scheduled team meeting. Sky is clearly having franchise problems, since they were tagging the Athletics Anonymous player as the worst from the franchise league, with Angel Reese suspended today and may be joining a new team tomorrow. His future in Chicago is in shambles. What do you think will happen next? Remember to share, like, and subscribe to maintain that.